Alright, so I discovered that I have more thoughts on this subject, and I also want to clear some things up. First thing is that, um, I really don't care what you call me. Call me an incel. I don't give a fuck. I got women breathing down my neck all over the place. I can tell you that. Mostly older women. But, um, no. I'm not an incel. I'm a Vcell. Voluntarily celibate. Because, frankly, I just don't like what's being offered at the moment. And that's really more on me than on anyone else. I mean, I'm relatively young and I'm building my kingdom, so when the time comes, the right woman will come along. So, got no worries. Um, Second, I want the freedom community or the anarchist community or I mean whatever you want to call it. I want you to really think about what should be prioritized. And I know the argument is that vice and degeneracy is voluntary. People can elect to do that under their own steam, and it shouldn't be anyone else's say what it is they do with their own bodies or who they associate with. Um, and to that, I am in agreement. It is nobody else's say what it is you do with your your body. But what is it that will lead to a better world? Because I see a lot of memes out there, using like almost a naked woman to promote some kind of like freedom message, right? And while that's like eye catching and everything, it can send the wrong message to the wrong people. I mean, to sexual degenerates, they see nothing wrong with it, and it probably does support the message of freedom. But freedom long term has prerequisites. It's not going to happen where a bunch of like if society is one big orgy, where polyamory is the name of the game. That creates a society of chaos, and I have witnessed this firsthand. And I guess I'll just get right into it. I mean, I was in a relationship um, that was tempted successfully by polyamory. I was resistant to it the entire time, but because of my sexual weakness at the time, I caved to it. And I was in a community with my partner, um, where I was the youngest man. My partner was 2 years older than me, and there were two other couples, and one of which was polyamorous, and there were two or three other single men who were all about 4 years older than me. And I was 23 at the time. Um, Broke, starving artist, prematurely engaged, looking for a place to live, and one of the guys at this community, the owner of the community of the land, invited us to live on the land. And I could not have made a bigger mistake in doing that. It was a travesty, when you're the youngest man, the poorest man, and you have a fiance who is being tempted by other men who have things like shelter and resources that you don't have, it puts you in a very bad position. And there was no attempt to honor what was between me and this woman. There was only selfish men looking out for their own sexual needs. And that eventually led to the implosion of my relationship with this woman. But all of these people at this community said that they valued freedom. But no community was created because everyone was looking out for their own selfish interest. Not a lot of work was getting done either, because everyone was trying to fuck somebody else who wasn't their girlfriend or their wife. That is not how you build a sustainable community. This is what all of the hippies got wrong from the 1960s onwards. Free love and everything, and then they wonder why their communities fall apart or become extremely rule-oriented and because they can't create a cohesive environment where nobody trusts each other, because everyone thinks that somebody's gonna try to sleep with their wife. It doesn't work. Let's see. So, whores and playboys, whatever you want to call them, they destroy friendships. I had a budding friendship with some of the men at that community, and it was destroyed because of the selfishness of a woman and the selfishness of men who would rather sleep with somebody's girlfriend than be friends with the man, even if they're already getting laid. You see it all the time where, friendships get wrecked because of the sexual selfishness of one person. It makes me extremely uncomfortable, and believe me, this happens to me more than I'd like it to, especially because I find it extremely embarrassing and uncomfortable when I am invited over to dinner with a couple who are married, or I'm at a party or some other function where I'm friends with a man, and his wife or his girlfriend starts putting too much attention on me, or something to that effect. Sometimes it's not even her fault, though. I mean, sometimes it's just who you are as a man that is making other men around you uncomfortable. I mean, when you are a man of purpose, when you are on your purpose, when you're doing good things in the world, you're gonna make other men uncomfortable, and they're going to seek to sabotage you. They if they're not themselves on their purpose as well. I mean, greatness should inspire greatness, but greatness often inspires envy, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, and it can happen with you and your partner as well. You like, part of what happened to me in that relationship was I was being sabotaged by my partner. My partner was trying to denigrate me by, no, by denigrating herself, but I see the dynamic happen with others where power dynamics are played, and because the man is doing great things, the woman will act poorly, and in an attempt to sabotage him from being great. It's really a sadistic game that I've been witness to. We should really be trying to lift each other up, and not thinking that there's less to go around because somebody else is in the light at one particular time. So, when we heal, when we find our inner strength, our temperance, our self-control, the things that used to attract us, all of that toxicity, the tattoos and the piercings and the loose behavior, the drug use. I mean, it all starts to lose its shine and lose its appeal, because you've seen the other side of it. You've seen what temperance can bring you. The wellspring of emotional strength that temperance will bring you. You've seen it. And you realize that all of that toxicity really isn't worth anything. So there's that. Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it for now. thanks for listening. I'll be back.